Hi, everyone, and welcome back to episode 12 of Urban Stars. When last we met with our fateful and fated adventurers, Kuklik and Varho had snuck onto a Star Destroyer in the effort to rescue Kuklik's brother, Callist. They are currently being escorted by a stormtrooper just to stretch their legs. We'll see how this works out for them and how they work around that. In the meantime, planetside on Terrace, Lucia and Udell are currently helping Lugnug assault Impirico's base after Lucia snuck in and found concrete proof that that Impirico is working with the Moff. And that's just where we are now. So join us as we traverse the stars. We'll start today with Kuklik and Varho. You guys are wandering this Star Destroyer. The Stormtrooper hasn't said much. Every time you guys pass another room, you, of course, pass another trooper. But you've finally wandered down a hallway that's just the three of you. Now tell me what you're looking for, how you're trying to get away from this guy. Is your goal to deal him harm, to kind of knock him unconscious and get away? Are you trying to find a kind of side shoot, like go to the restroom and climb through the ceiling? Like how are you guys trying to evade this individual?
Well, first thing I'm going to spend some XP on the fly here, learn as we go.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to buy the influence base power.
Okay.
I don't have enough to buy the control one that lets me tell them something not true and they believe it. But I can buy half of it.
Okay.
Or we can do a partial thing if you're down with that.
Okay. Remind me. Do you know what it says in the Force and Destiny rule book about kind of learning powers on the fly, like that? Like it gives examples of like how you can learn powers that you don't have enough XP to spend on.
Yeah, it just basically makes it tougher. You don't get the full benefit of it necessarily unless you do the roll, but it just makes it more difficult.
Yeah, doesn't it kind of upgrade the check to perform it? Yeah. Cool. So that'll work.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. And we can narratively say that your character knew this and you're just practicing it again for the first time. I mean, you were...
Some of the memories that came back,
yeah.
Now that I need it, it works this way.
Exactly. You were, after all, a Padawan.
Yes.
And this is a pretty basic power to know.
It is, yeah. I would think so.
Okay. All right, and I'm basically, as we walk, I'm studying the ship. I'm looking for, I would be aware that there would be areas that would be engineering access points for all the plumbing, basically, that runs through a ship. So that, and I'm looking for things like that. Basically areas that we could possibly get into where I could traverse the ship being unseen. I still have no idea where we're going.
Sure.
But with my knowledge of starships and engineering, I would try to see if there's a way I can guess where they might have a brig or something like that. And,
sure.
Or if we can possibly find out where he's at using the Force.
Sure. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and have Chris, you wanted to use that influence power to control him. So tell us what influence does and what that upgrade does that you're kind of trying to half use.
The base power just lets me kind of stress their mind a little bit. I can affect their general disposition. I can use dark side points to make them, angry or, feel bad, and light side points to make them happy and like us more.
Okay.
And that sort of thing. And the upgrade I want to do is the control one, which is a discipline versus discipline check, mine against his, to make him believe something not true for a round.
Okay. Great.
So you don't need to stay with us. We're fine.
Okay. Make him believe that everything is okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do that discipline check.
Okay.
So go ahead and get your discipline score ready, and I'll let you know shortly what his is.
Okay.
He doesn't have much. I mean, he doesn't have any discipline skill on his own. He is a minion. but he does have a willpower of 3.
Okay.
So you're looking at a hard check
Okay.
for you to be able to pull one over on him. And don't forget, we are currently in Kuklik's obligation still, so we still have the reduced strain. Kuklik, yours is still temporarily reduced by 4, and everybody else's is reduced by 2, as well as the Force Virgins on Terrace is still active. So anybody who spends a Destiny point is going to roll a Force die to potentially spend double, or let me spend one for free, flipping another one over to my side. And also, you have an elevated Force rating. So you have +1 Force rating from what you normally would have. Now I need to find my Destiny points because I don't have them in front of me. Good thing we all play Star Wars, so I've got 3 people tossing me Destiny points right now. Chris beat you guys to it. He still had his bag on the table.
He's got a whole bag of Destiny points.
Yeah, he does. All right, cool. So, and we, of course, have 4 light side points and 4 dark side points that we're working with because we're just building Destiny how Genesis has it laid out. So you guys get 1 for each of you, and I also get 1 for each of you. Cool. So go ahead and make that discipline check.
Okay. And because this is always the thing that I have, we are upgrading one of those to the right.
Okay. Yeah. Automatic upgrade because of that. Yes.
Alrighty. So here's where the fun begins.
Yes. Come on.
Well, I don't succeed at the discipline check. I don't have any extra failures, just no successes, a threat. But I have 2 force points. They're dark side points.
Okay. Cool. So so you won't be able to control him.
Mm-hmm.
He won't be convinced, but you can alter his mood in the dark side fashion. Now,
yes.
You will have to take strain damage as well as conflict points
Yes.
for using any dark side points that you use, but you have 2 of them that you can use.
Yes. So we are going to use both of those to make him afraid for his job. He's away for his post. They're going to miss him. He's supposed to be there.
Okay, so what do you say to kind of create that tension?
I just say, you really don't need to follow us. We're on a Star Destroyer. Where can we go? What can happen? You're away from your post. Are there punishments for that?
So are you trying to make him? You're making him afraid.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're absolutely right. I shouldn't be away from my post. In fact, we should probably go ahead and head back that way, if you wouldn't mind turning around.
No, I think we'll be fine.
I'm sorry, I cannot let you wander these halls on your own. You're right. You're on the Star Destroyer, and anything can happen on the Star Destroyer. And
if they're not safe, no one should be on them then.
Well, that's not necessarily true. The people trained and intended to be patrolling them should definitely be there to keep them safe.
Where can we go? What can we get into?
At this point, he is going to grab his blaster in both hands and say, "All right, we've wandered around enough. It's time to get back to your room."
I am just a droid. What does it matter what I do? Nobody cares about droids.
I think at this he kind of like snorts in his helmet because you failed that check last time.
No.
They're not convinced that you're a droid.
No. I didn't fail it with him. I failed it when we were getting on the ship, the people on the ship. When I got on the Star Destroyer, I succeeded in my check. So
Okay.
those people, he was not on the transport.
Yeah, I mean, it would take a pretty significant check at this point to convince him that you guys should be allowed to wander around. Because he's a military personnel and they have protocols and things like that for Star Destroyers. And you came on to the Destroyer with the guise of, we're an important person on Terrace. We're supposed to be here because we're being protected. His mindset is all about protecting you and keeping you confined to the area that he's been ordered to. So you can try to convince him, but the task will be impossible, which means
So you're saying, what are the odds?
There's a mechanical way that works out. Basically, it's 5 purple dice, and you have to spend a destiny point to even try.
Oh, that's 5 purple dice against my 1 green and 1 yellow?
Yes, absolutely correct. Now, that's not to say that you can't get away from him by another means, but because of his military training and other things that stack up against you guys, he's not really going to be willing to waver at this point. However, your altering of his emotions might make him slip up in another way. He's just not going to be politically routed.
Okay.
Well,
all right. I'll use the bathroom first.
One that has a vent that leads somewhere else, please.
There's a bathroom in your room. We really must head back that way.
I could just go here, I suppose.
Do you?
No.
Okay. We will return to our room, I guess. We must obey orders.
You should really listen to your droid, sir.
Yeah, you listen to your droids.
I still need to go back to the transport, though, and get that data pad.
Like I told you before, it'll be there when you get back.
And if it is not,
I'll buy you a new one.
the information on that data pad could be very damaging, and it needs to be recovered.
I assure you, nobody on this Star Destroyer is trying to damage it or the Empire in any way.
But you are possibly doing that.
Okay, this is going to go on way too long. What do you guys want to do?
I want to convince him I need to go to the...
he's not going to let you do that either.
He's not going to let me
Not
do
until
that?
it's time to go back.
Okay. Or
That was because you did make a check on that one last time, and it didn't work.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. All right, so we go back to the room, I guess?
And back to the room, find another way out.
Okay, so was I able to find anything, was I able to see, any way, any engineering access, hallways or anything like that? And what is the room connected to?
So this room is connected just to other rooms.
Just to other rooms
Yes.
that have people in them.
Yes, this is specifically like an emergency barracks for the important and rich people on Terrace.
Okay.
At best, it's a glorified jail. It's a modified, converted brig.
Yeah, most
All right.
likely.
So it's all the walls abut other walls for other rooms.
Yeah.
Okay, and we noticed walking around that there were guards in front of all the other rooms.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now, you can go ahead and make a perception or survival check to have potentially seen some other things.
Okay.
Because you, of course, were looking around as you traveled.
Yeah. And that would be
It's just going to be average. You were able to, look freely.
so that's 2.
Now, are you painted gold right now?
Hmm?
How are you? What do you look like?
I figure I would be painted bluish because that would have been the easiest to
Okay.
disguise. I am a C5A new style protocol droid, by the way. So. And no, I have 1 threat.
Okay. So you'll take a strain, probably because you're stressing that it seems like things are not going to go your direction at this point.
Okay, so I don't notice anything. So basically, we're still trapped in our room.
Sure. So do you actually have a data pad that you left on the transport, or
No.
are you just trying to get back to the
I'm
transport?
trying to get out of
Okay,
here.
great. Did you bring any equipment with you?
I brought all my equipment.
Great. What do you have?
Well, I've got
Instead of saying we're in a blank room, what do you have that you could use?
a wheelbarrow and a
You don't have
Holocaust
those.
clothes.
You don't have those things.
Well, I've got burning gel.
Okay.
Okay.
You're on a
and
good track there.
Do it.
I said you're on a potentially good track
I know,
there.
except all the rooms are, anything I burn through the wall to get to another room would be just more trouble.
It's weird how there are 2 other services in the room.
There what?
There are 2 other surfaces in the room that aren't walls.
Oh, the floors and the ceiling?
Correct.
I have detonite.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
That could definitely be used to get out of a room.
Oh, I
Since
thought-
from the document, there's a decent chance of going down will lead to space.
Well, you're in a barracks kind of that was attached to the hangar, but you're not like in the
Not
hangar
hangar
still.
itself, but still.
Yeah. So you're
So-
kind of through halls and off to the side. You're on the same like level, but that doesn't mean that there's no levels under or
No.
above you.
Well, and he didn't say which hangar this is. This isn't like a Tector class where there's only the undercarriage hangar. There's also the port and starboard side hangars.
Now, I also have a pistol that
Okay.
shoots projectiles.
Yes.
So
Silently.
Silently. One of my, I'm gonna try to make, I guess, an engineering check or a mechanics check to see if I think that the projectile would penetrate the walls or the floor or the ceiling. Would it, penetrate the metal?
They probably wouldn't go all the way through, but I mean, with enough shots, you probably could.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out a way that I can see. I'd like to be able to look to see where we're going. Because if you just put a whole big burning gel above a door, and all of a sudden, in the floor, and then it falls into.
Well, you could put a tiny bit of burning gel on the floor.
I've thought about that too. Okay. Well, Varho, we do not seem to be having much luck.
Not so far.
Is there any way you could make contact with Callist
Possibly. I could try.
and see? And I saw you tried to influence the guard. Is there any way you could influence people in the other rooms?
Well, is that something you would have noticed? That was kind of like a slight wave of the
Ah,
hand. It wasn't
okay.
really like, we don't need to be here.
Although that
Fair
was the same
enough.
result.
Yeah, it was roughly the
Fair
same
enough.
result as if that had happened. But mind trick by nature isn't really a noticeable trick.
Right.
Stand back, I'm going to use the force.
No! Because I'm just wondering if you could influence people in the next room to create a commotion or something that would.
In general, you have to have eye contact.
Yeah.
I don't
Have eye
think it's
contact,
that
okay.
far.
Yeah, you at least have to be able to see to accurately you can't like cast influence over a whole 20-foot space, unlike D&D. If only.
If only. Okay, and then you just have to have the power, pretty much.
Yeah, basically. Cool. So let's make a. If one of you guys wants to make a knowledge warfare check, you can get kind of a general idea of where you are on the Star Destroyer. Based on where you've walked around, it'll be a little bit easier than it would have been previously.
Knowledge warfare, or
Yes.
That's only listed on the rebellion sheets.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's not actually printed on.
So not mechanics.
This is
or...
true. No, mechanics wouldn't give you like an idea of the schematics of the ship necessarily. Like you might know intricacies about it once you get to those points.
Like how
But-
to open the door.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, mechanics won't give you blueprints. Like you wouldn't know as much about it. So basically, because this isn't, you're an edge character. You're not an age character, so you don't really have much warfare knowledge. Because why would you have ever been on a Star Destroyer?
True.
So it makes sense that you wouldn't be trained in how to find things on a Star Destroyer.
That's true.
So so basically, it would be an intellect check for you guys if you wanted to try to figure out where you are, where things are.
Education.
Just a general. No, because you wouldn't have the education to know a Star Destroyer.
Well, I'm a pilot on a Verpine.
On a small Verpine engineer craft.
True. But I
So,
have a basic idea.
I don't think
No.
you would know like a core world capital ship.
No.
On
true.
top of the fact, the core world class ships, drawing a blank on the name of the company.
Corellian? No.
Well, no, they weren't. Corellia didn't. While they made this the Star Destroyers, it's not their company, but
Right.
Sinar or something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Sign up.
Anyway, so just basically a straight intellect check to get an intuitive idea, because you do know ships in general. You would know, like, you wouldn't put an engine on the top. That's dumb. Like, you would know kind of that kind of stuff.
Right.
Or you would get an idea of like what might be below a hangar bay, things like that. So it'll be an average check, but one red die replacing one of the purple dice.
And it could get a boost because he's actively studying kind of the surrounding areas. Does that not help
Yeah.
so much for this?
So I
Yeah,
get one
because
just a booster?
well, it was supposed to, like, I have it written down as a hard check, and I've reduced it down to average because of your searching
Oh, okay.
and seeking.
Okay.
Now you can go ahead and flip a point.
I know. Yeah, let's flip a point.
Roll that force die.
Well, it looks like you were successful. Yeah, I was successful. You just get a...
Yeah, so go ahead and upgrade the other purple die as well, but you do get to upgrade your green.
Yeah, well. So I just get a better chance at despair.
And a better chance at triumph.
I am successful.
Good.
Just one success.
Yeah. I'm assuming there'd probably be cargo bays below a hangar for unloading cargo.
So what information I'm going to give you is basically you don't necessarily know the blueprints of the ship, but you know where it would be safe to research a Rakatan artifact. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So like your knowledge of that, as well as your general knowledge of mechanics, is going to help you kind of get at least a mental map of a general location. So you know you'll need to be kind of toward the core, almost to the reactor area of the Star Destroyer. So almost toward the engine room would be the safest place for them to conduct experiments like that without potentially damaging the outer hull of the ship if things went awry.
Okay.
So you kind of can get a general idea of that, and also going through the base flooring of a level like this is going to take you through the kind of engineering shortcut blocks.
Okay. So
that's that's what's underneath you. Yes.
Okay.
Don't forget, Star Destroyers can dump their cores and run.
Yes, they can. Oh, I know. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to create enough problems for them that they go, let's dump the core.
Yeah, there's 2 guys on our ship. Let's go.
One of them looks like an android.
Cool. So are you gonna go ahead and burn through that floor?
Varho, I believe I think we need to use the burning gel to get out of here.
I think so.
But the question is, can you make contact? Is there any way? How will we find him? I have a feeling he'll be towards the back of the ship, but
Okay,
where?
it's a start. It's a big ship. There's a lot of space to cover. Anything we could narrow down would help a lot.
So with the way these kind of force connections generally work, you would be the one to have to meditate to do that.
I would be the one.
Yes. Because he has never had a connection, nor does he know Callist. He's never felt his force. Like, he would have no way to really make that interaction
Can
happen.
he assist me with that, or is it all? I mean,
his assistance comes in the form of you now being able to do that.
Okay, all right.
Because he kind of helped you do that initial meditation. But he can't really, like, empty your mind for you. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like, you've got to be the one to do those interior things.
But when I did make that connection, I pulled back visually. I pulled back visually a little more. So how much of that will I remember? Because I had
Quite
visual
a bit.
cues
I
all
mean,
the
yeah,
way.
you've got...
Right. So as I might see things that
Exactly. Don't worry, I got
He's got
things.
notes.
I got notes.
All right.
But couldn't Chris detect potentially the Rakatan artifact / force emanation?
Not without actively trying to.
Okay. That's just a...
So, and that's
So
if it's currently active.
Right. It's more of a point of order, just understanding how you're setting that up.
And I might be able to tell the difference between humans and other species, but maybe not specific species if we don't have a lot of experience.
Yeah.
No,
Do you have the sense power?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. Then yes, he would be able. If you're actively using sense, you would be able to sense something like that. Cool. So
Could you sense someone like me? We are definitely different.
I don't think he can. I don't think he can. If he like spread it out, like sense other beings, there would be more. Like he can't differentiate. Like that being's a Verpine and that one's a human.
Gotcha.
It's not that specific.
Okay.
Especially not at his low level. Cool. So are you guys going to go through that basement area, or are you going to still try to find a different way through?
Let's go to the basement.
I think we need to go, but first I think I need to attempt to contact him again now that we're on the ship.
Okay, if we're gonna do a context scene, I want to flip over to Lukia and Udell.
Let's go.
If you guys were just burrowing through, I was gonna go ahead and do that check and let it happen. But I think the context scene's gonna be a little bit longer.
Okay.
So, Udell, you are currently kind of you've just knocked out a guy. You're kind of in the outer area of Impirico's pit, this Colosseum-like structure, and Undur, the man who not only gave you the scar on your face, but also trained you in martial arts.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. He is assisting you, and you guys have kind of wiped out the front guard of Imperio's court, and are now kind of both standing in front of sort of the front door to his pit. You don't hear anything on the other side, but you do hear things kind of to the left and right of you as other squads attempt to breach through.
Okay. Now, before running off from the guy that I knocked out, I would like to secure his blaster pistol.
Sure, you got a blaster pistol, regular old blaster pistol.
That's fine with me.
So I believe it's like damage 6, crit 3.
Yeah. But I'll slowly start working my way in through the gate.
Okay, cool.
Just kind of peeking around the corner, trying to see what I see. Is there, if there's somebody that's gonna hurt me.
That's fair. Undur, kind of as you start to peek around the corner, he puts his hand on your chest and says, "Hang on. Here, use this." And he hands you like one of the extendable mirrors that you see, kind of in like spy movies and stuff. Like, use this to look around the corner.
Okay, so I'll take his mirror and just look around the corner.
Yeah, go and do a perception check with a boost for having the mirror and being kind of in a safe location.
What difficulty?
Average.
Well, I failed with an advantage and a triumph.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Okay, cool. So you don't see anything valuable or useful to you, but what do those advantage and triumph do? If you have a strain, you can heal that with the advantage, of course.
Well, I will have to check that, but I do not have a strain at the moment. I think I'd like to see a deactivated security like weapon system lining the.
Okay, yeah, it's got an outer edge security kind of elevated to the second floor.
Yep, that
Cool.
would be overlooking the actual stadium area and the training area.
Oh, okay, so pointed to the inside.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Now I would assume. Now I'll say it. Stunning, kind of. Because
Sure. I mean, it's for a fighting pit. It's
for
not.
fighting pit.
It's not for killing.
It's not for lethal.
Sure. Yeah, that's definitely up there. That'll be a good. That's a good triumph. But you don't spot any dangers. You see anything?
Oh, I don't see anything. You can go first.
No, Captain. I think I'm gonna let you take this one.
Dude, I'm not even getting a deception roll on that now.
Well, it's not technically deception. You don't see anything.
Right. Anyway, yeah.
You
I'll-
don't. You think it's safe. You don't hear anything. You don't see anything. So
I'll move around the corner to where I can hopefully, where I would think that there would be a, some kind of terminal or something.
okay, so you kind of come around the corner, and it's very dark and dim. There are some lights coming through the doorway where you just entered, and some kind of peeking through cracks in the bleachers up on the second level. But it's very much like like underneath the high school bleachers is kind of what it feels like. Very dusty, dark, smells like teens, and lots of Axe body spray, and
My son's room.
yeah, dark, dusty Axe body spray, trying to cover something up, probably drugs. Maybe not your son's room at that.
My other son's room.
So that's kind of the feeling you get when you come in here, and you hear kind of the clatter of a metal cup in the distance, kind of around the corner. It's a stadium, so it kind of goes in a circle. and you hear the clatter of a cup around the rim. Undu steps in and says, "I'm gonna go to the elevated position. You walk around. I'll watch your back." And he shoots his grappling gun up and is kind of connected and dangling with his blaster pistol drawn out from that ceiling.
Okay. I'm just gonna start working towards where I think I heard the sound from.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and make a vigilance check. It is going to be hard.
So
You can have a boost because he's kind of looking out for you.
This is a lot like discipline. Ironically, though, I succeed.
Nice.
1 success and 3 threat.
Oh, wow. So you are peeking around this corner, and before this thug can get a shot off at you, you duck behind it, and you're kind of clutching at your chest. You've dropped your 2 threat is going to be for you to drop your stun baton.
Okay.
On the ground, and 1 threat is going to be a strain.
Okay.
So you kind of you see the blaster drawn. You kind of see a glint off the barrel. The light from the doorway hits it just right as you're coming around the corner, and you're able to back up with your back against the wall and are kind of clutching at yourself, making sure you didn't get a hole put in you. And Undu, of course, saw that as well. So go ahead and roll me an initiative roll.
All right.
I won't make your 1 success and 3 threat count.
Yeah,
Although it would be really fun.
1 success.
1 success.
Really got to work on this willpower stuff.
Yeah, it turns out it's an important skill.
It's crazy.
Do I need to roll in on this or no?
No, your scene's a little bit different. Oh, he got you 3 successes and a triumph.
Ouch. At least the triumph isn't enough.
Well, I'd rather see the triumph now
Yes, exactly.
than on the crit later.
No, it's him. It's Undu.
Oh,
Got it.
okay.
Oh.
Then triumph all you want.
Yeah. I figured you would like that. I was wondering why.
You failed to describe who.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said
exactly.
he.
Usually, that narrowed it down.
That's true. He's the only person that you know how many there
Half the
are.
planet. Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, I don't know. I'm not
Okay, cool. So that is the start of initiative order is going to be a player turn, and I'm going to lump his turns in with you. So basically, Undu will be played by me, and you can take either one of the player turns.
Yo, I'm gonna let Undu go. Because
Okay.
I mean, playing Udell, first thought would be okay, hug the wall.
Sure. So his triumph is going to be the free maneuver. He's going to release his grappling hook and land safely on the ground and roll to where he can kind of see around that corner, and he's going to take a shot in the direction where the blasters came from. Of course, he doesn't know where they are, and they're ducked behind cover, so he's going to have 2 setbacks to get close to them even. Luckily, he's very good with the combats.
You would think, being a bounty hunter.
Yeah, you would think that. He also did like insta-crit Udell right in the face. So hopefully he knows how to do this. Alright, he is actually going to hit one of them for 3 damage. Which is not enough to do anything. So he peeks around the corner, takes his shot, and I said 3 damage, didn't I? He's shooting a blaster. What am I talking about? 9 damage.
I thought that sounded a little.
Yeah,
strange,
it was a little off. So he actually takes one out. It's been a while since I've done minion combat. You guys haven't actually gotten into a ton of combat
Nope.
until now. This is really the first time that it's been. I mean, Udell gets in a lot of combat, but it's
Let's not call
short.
it combat.
Yeah, I know.
it's more one-hit wonders.
Yes.
So Undu drops from the ceiling, rolls on the ground, pulls his blaster out, and takes a shot and hits one of them right in the chest as that one was trying to shoot at him. and now they are going to take a turn to shoot at Undu. And he's going to take actually quite a bit of... Well, he's going to take a crit for sure. So payback, I guess.
Yeah, but the crit didn't come from me, so, you know.
But, you know, he takes
It's still
one.
entertaining.
Who wants to roll me that D100?
08.
8?
Yep.
Oh, that's not... He gets slowed down. He can't move next turn. Not bad.
Alrighty then.
All right, Udell, your turn.
All right. I'm not going to reach. Are they at short range?
Medium.
They're at medium. Okay. Then I will just take out my HL-27, my blaster pistol, and just kind of pop a shot off.
Okay, so do you leave your stun baton on the floor?
For right now, yes.
Okay, cool. So they are behind at least 3/4 cover from you, so it's going to be 2 setbacks added to the normal average for the mid-range check.
At least it's an accurate weapon. Oh, and I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so that's going to cancel. Just leave 1. So that is 3 successes and a threat.
Wow.
So that will be 8 damage.
All right, 3 successes and a threat is going to be not quite enough to take one out. But you do deal a pretty significant amount of damage to it. And at this point, now that you've kind of looked around the corner, you can see 4 thugs, obviously belonging to Impirico's crew, staring you down the hallway, kind of ducked behind the cover, trying to size you guys up. And we're going to start the next round. And so, player turn. Do you want it, or you want to give it to Undu?
Well, since he can't move, I'm assuming I took that threat as strain.
Mm-hmm. And feel free also, Lucia is in the building. She just doesn't know that you're in trouble at all.
Okay. Well, at this point, I think I've got Undu with me, so I think I'm okay.
Cool.
I'm just going to go ahead and light off another shot.
Okay.
This time I will take an aim, though.
Okay, go for it. Still 2 blacks.
That one didn't work out. So
Aiming did not help.
No, it did not. It really did not. I felt good about it, but I failed with an advantage.
Okay. They saw you coming.
So I'd like to spend that advantage to actually have knocked over some cover to kind of help Undu.
Yeah, absolutely. You find
Like a
some good
crate or
cover. You
something.
maybe don't knock it over necessarily, but you easily spot it and say, "Hey, let's go over there," and it'll get you guys to short range, as well as providing cover. So it'll give them 1 setback. If you would like to use 2 strain to go ahead and take off for that cover yourself, you can.
Strain's at a premium right now. Not yet.
Sure. Okay. Sounds good. So they're going to go then, and they are, of course, going to pop a shot off at Undu. And they will hit him, no threat or advantage, but they'll hit him for 8, which is enough to deal just a little bit of damage. He's got significantly more armor than they or you do, so he's got a lot going for him. And he is actually going to, at this point, whip out another blaster pistol and just start wailing into all of them as much as he can. He does move up into the cover that you pointed out for him.
Can he
However,
move?
Oh yeah, you're right. He can't move right now. Never mind.
Not without spending his action to do it or something.
Yeah, no, he's slowed. So
Can he take strain?
he actually
to
has
move,
got
or-
to take. Yeah, he can take strain. So he's going to take that strain to pull out the pistol because he would rather take the 2 shots. But he fails.
He's better with a knife.
He is better with the knife. With
Trust
one
me.
advantage, he's gonna pass a boost to you. It'll kind of provide an opening because they're trying to dodge his shots so much because he's laying down so much fire. One of them has moved out from his cover, and so instead of really giving you a boost, it's going to take away that cover setback for you,
Okay.
which would be nice. So, and it's back up to your turn.
All right. So I'm going to use my maneuver to move up to the short range and
Okay.
behind the cover.
Sounds great.
And then I will go ahead and pop a shot off at the guy who is not in cover.
Okay, so no blacks, just your roll.
All
With
right.
short range, which is 1 purple.
And because of my true sight attachment, it's an aim as an incidental comes along with it in short range.
Okay.
And short range, you said?
Yep.
No setbacks.
No setbacks. He's out of cover.
That didn't sound good.
Well, that didn't work.
An advantage. So I will pass the boost back to do.
Okay, that's rough.
That was a golden opportunity too.
It was. Cool. So it'll be their turn, and at this point, we're going to mark it here where we're at, and we'll move over to Lucia. Lucia, when we left you, you were still in the vent, correct?
Correct.
It had been blocked off, and you were able to kind of get away from those guys,
Mhm.
but you froze the one guy in place, right?
Correct.
Using that cryo pistol, which was super cool.
Yep.
So what are you doing at this point?
Well, I'm spider crawling my way back the way I came to try to get sort of back out, retrace my steps because it's a maze up here, and I had a predetermined path, so I'm just following that back out.
So you can go ahead and roll survival to get out as quickly and safely as possible. That'll be a hard check, or you can roll a knowledge of underworld to know exactly where you're coming out.
Cool.
Both hard.
Both hard?
Yep. I think I would accept streetwise as well.
Cool. And because of that, I pick up that. Oh, that's cocked. Alrighty. So I end up with a success and 2 advantage.
Which one did you roll?
Streetwise.
Streetwise. Okay, so you know exactly where you come out. You'll get to spend your 2 advantage. You do know exactly where you come out, so I'll let you spend those 2 advantage for you to tell me where exactly you pop out of that vent.
So she kind of hear the fighting as she's getting closer to the exit grate.
Okay.
And basically pop out with, not in Udell's fight, but probably in one of the outside fights as they're trying to breach and make their approach.
Okay.
And so she's going to, with the other advantage, I get the drop on them because I'm kind of coming in from behind.
Yeah, cool. So you come kind of in the western wing of the Coliseum, and you see another group of 4 thugs standing by the wall. Some of them are already injured, but not enough to cripple anybody just yet. But they do not notice you as you peel the grate off and kind of store it behind yourself. So it would take a coordination check to be able to jump from that high and kind of land on them to get a surprise attack in before you enter the combat there.
Cool. Coordination or athletics or just...
Coordination. You're kind of up high and being able to land on top of a small figure.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is going to be average.
Okay.
Because you are only 1 level up. And I'm going to spend a dark side point to upgrade that. Does somebody want to roll my force die for me?
I
Rick?
did so well last time. We'll see.
2 white.
Yes.
2 white. Okay, so it is going to upgrade to 1 purple, but you guys get 2 benefits. Do you want to just upgrade twice, or do you want to introduce something else
I'm going to upgrade once.
to the fray? Okay.
And then the other upgrade is going to be that the one guy that I get the drop on makes no noise when I kind of land on him. Just a soft grunt.
Okay.
If I'm successful.
If you deal enough damage
Right.
with it, and then this will be basically, I'm considering this to be an unarmed attack
Right.
of you landing on the guy, with the base being your brawn because of your weight being the primary thing you're hitting him with.
Okay. So would it be coordination but with brawn instead of agility?
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine.
Okay. I'm going to re-roll that.
Keep catching the edge of that table.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, I am not successful, but I have 1 advantage.
Okay. Your advantage can be that.
Oh no! Wait, I am successful.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 success, 1 advantage.
Okay. 1 success, 1 advantage. So what is your brawn?
3.
Your brawn is 3, so just 4. It's not quite enough to take them out.
That's fine.
Your advantage can be that you're able to kind of pin them down and keep them silent, though.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay, great. So go ahead and roll a cool check, and I'll have them roll a vigilance.
Oh, cool. I prefer vigilance. 1 and 1.
Okay, you will go first. Player turn.
All right, I will, since I've got them right here, right now, I'll just try to more or less choke them out.
All right,
Because
so
I'm
regular old brawl check.
I'm technically in grapple, right?
Well, you're not grappling. You narratively pinned them,
Right.
but mechanically you're not grappling.
Okay.
But feel free to make a brawl check to get him to tap.
Yep. Wow.
Not a success.
Yeah, 3 success and 2 threat.
Okay, 3 success and 2 threat.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. Your brawn was 3
Mm-hmm.
plus 3, so you're definitely going to take him down, but you don't take him down silently.
That's fine.
And so somebody notices that you're doing that, which is going to provide them with a boost to their check against you. But it's not their turn first. They were, after all, fighting some of your buddies outside. Who are trying to breach. And they will get hit for a big old 11 damage,
Oof.
Ouch.
which is pretty significant for these guys. It's actually going to take 1 completely out, which is good for you.
The one that noticed me?
No, he kind of alerted, like everybody has been alerted. You're in combat with them now, but their attention is kind of divided. So I'm going to actually split up their roles. So we'll have 2 of them shooting at you, 1 of them trying to watch the back area. Do you have any defense against range?
I do not.
Okay. They roll 2 blanks. 1 blank on their positive dice and 1 blank on their negative. And then they will miss your comrades as well. So back up to you.
Sweet. So, am I within close to melee range, or would it take my maneuver to get into melee range?
You're in short range right now,
so
so you'd
I
have to move to get engaged. Yeah.
That's fine. I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Will I need to spend 2 strain to draw my sword?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that.
And this is the full sword. No setbacks or nothing.
No
You
setbacks.
got that bad boy repaired.
Yep.
Here, if you move all those dice in front of you out of the way, you can roll on the big table.
Yeah, but I had them organized.
I know, but you'll organize. This will just
Organize
give you the
them in front
opportunity
of
to
you.
organize them again.
I guess we'll count that roll. I got a big bupkis as well, but 1 advantage.
1 advantage? Okay.
So
Cool.
basically, when I swing my sword, it's gonna provide. I'm gonna pass the boost on to the guys. Basically, I
Okay, great.
flush him fully into cover, or out of cover, so to speak, if you will.
Great. They will shoot and they will miss. 2 advantages, though, is going to go ahead and pass a setback to the enemy and a boost to you.
Cool.
So enemy is going to shoot at you again. 2 of them at you, 1 of them at the other guy. They will hit you for 11 damage.
Ooh.
Ow.
Yeah, blaster rifles suck.
Mm-hmm.
And they will fail at hitting your comrades once again. And it's back up to you.
All right. I'll swing again.
You want to spend a light side point? You got
No.
a bunch of them.
Nope.
Got like 5.
Nope.
You sure?
I'm actually gonna be nice and leave it to my buddies. I think I've got a pretty decent pool.
Okay, but you missed last time.
Yeah, because I rolled a lot of blank. A lot of blank. I am successful with 1 success.
Okay, successful with 1 success is how much damage for you?
That would be 7.
7 damage. All right, you take out another one. There are 2 left. All right, your friends are now going to take another shot at these guys who haven't hit them yet.
Oh, don't forget Pierce 2, Vicious 1.
Oh, nice. Well, Vicious doesn't do anything if you don't crit.
No, but just so that way you're aware. Just
Sure. Yeah, so you actually have, there's 1 left.
So basically,
You take out 2. So you come in and you slash twice. You slash up once and down with the other, taking out 2 of these little scrawny minions, who then get shot by your buddies for 10 damage with blaster rifles, and they go down. You have now cleared the way for some of Lugnug's guys who come in, and as they do, you hear Lugnug over your earpieces. All right, we've almost pushed in far enough. Deal 1 more blow to their forces and then back out. We're only sending a message today. We don't want the full weight of the Empire. And about the time he says that, you start to hear the howling of TIE fighters overhead.
Yeah. I'm going to take this quick moment of downtime to stim pack up. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Udell, let's go ahead and do a quick roll for you. Go ahead and make another attack.
Alrighty then. So I will go ahead and actually take an aim this time.
Okay.
Now, because of that little sight, that's a double aim. And then short range. Do I have any setbacks, or is the guy still in the open?
Guy's still in the open.
Okay. Then I do have the setback for the weapon. Well, I hit pretty good.
Can I take this opportunity to roll perception to hear the blaster fire?
There's too much blaster fire going on around you.
That's fine. I just, with the group now out.
Yeah.
So it's 8 damage and 1 threat.
Ouch. So you take another one out and 1 threat. So you'll take a strain from kind of you coming out of cover for a moment and the stress of that. They're going to shoot at you. Just 2 more left, and you're kind of right now the biggest threat. You've taken out the most of them. Wow, they hit you for a lot, but these guys are only using pistols. So don't sweat it too much that you just took 9 damage.
19 damage.
Don't forget your soak.
Yeah, don't do Jason.
Yeah.
Don't be like Jason. Good old episode 1 Jason.
Well, again, new character sheet, new one of those things.
Sure, play too many games. I get you. All right, Undu's going to go. He is going to lay off a shot on these guys and try to kind of finish them off as best as he can. Because you guys, of course, just heard Lugnug's announcement as well. Kind of final strike and then head out. He is going to deal 10 damage to them. Oh, there's 1 guy left, and he is kind of holding himself together. Your turn.
Okay. I'm actually going to run back to where I dropped my stun baton and take a shot on the way.
Okay. So kind of shooting on the move. There's no like setback to that. Just narratively, it looks really cool.
Right. And I'm assuming this one is still undercover.
Yes. Yes. So 2 setbacks to the roll.
Why are you adding the 3rd setback?
Because I have a damaged weapon.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, am I short or medium range?
You can do it at short.
Okay.
Do it as you're moving. Come on, you just have to deal 5 damage.
Well, I just have to hit him too, but I don't. So, I am left with an advantage. So, I'm going to have to use that to heal strain, unfortunately, this time.
Okay, this guy's actually going to take off. He kind of sees the damage you guys have done. He kind of marks your faces. You see him make eye contact with you as you're running, and he is going to get up and try to scramble away.
Okay.
All right, back up to top of the order. Player turn.
I'm grabbing my baton and running out the door. as
Okay,
fast as I
you're
can.
leaving. Okay, Undu is going to take 1 final shot at this guy as he's running. At this point, the guy has used both of his actions to move, so he's a long distance away. It'll be a little bit difficult, but no cover. Oh, that's a lot of failure. Yeah, Undu does not hit him. So the guy makes you guys and takes off, and Undu is not able to get a shot on him. However, he does get 2 advantages, so he hits a door and is able to kind of take off after him, chasing him, which he does.
That's on him.
So he hits a door, it closes, and he takes off because he doesn't want. I mean, he's a bounty hunter. He doesn't want other people who might hire him to know that he was fighting against them. He sees that definitely as a risk. So you take off out the door and head back toward Lugnug's kind of base camp. And then Kuklik and Varho, let's move over to you guys. You're going to try to make a connection with Callist real quick.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so go ahead and roll me a hard discipline check. And I am going to spend a dark side point to upgrade it once.
I'll roll that 4 time.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
1 dark side.
Okay, so it's going to upgrade twice.
All right. Now, since I'm trying to use the force, do I roll the force die or no? That's
Yes.
the one. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I just should roll 1 force die.
Yep.
Technically, do you have a force rating?
No, he doesn't.
No.
Okay.
Well, I got 2 advantage, and that's it. And a dark side point. I failed.
Okay, your advantage can be that you feel a general direction of where the artifact is. You can't feel Callist, so like it's not a living presence that you get to sense, but you can tell generally where the artifact is,
Okay.
and it is in the direction that you had already guessed.
Okay. Well, Varho, I was not able to make any contact with him, but I do have an idea which direction that we should head.
Okay.
So I'm going to inspect the room and see if there's anything that I could possibly move to cover a hole in the floor that won't look like we just moved something
Well,
to cover a hole in the floor.
Because these rooms are all very uniform, if
I
you
would
moved
think.
anything and you're not in the room, they're going to probably guess that you moved something and put a hole in the floor. Go ahead and make a...
But there is a restroom.
Yeah, there is a restroom. You can make like a knowledge education check, or but use it based in cunning
Based in cunning.
to get an idea. This is basically you're getting the GM's idea without me outright telling you.
All right.
Now you want Udell.
So it's knowledge education, and how hard is it?
Average.
Average.
So it's not very.
What's your
It's not
base
hard to
cunning?
prod me.
Huh?
Nice.
Well, I got 2 advantage, but I failed.
All right, I'm not going to help you.
When you took away my intelligence, you didn't help me.
Hey, I can't take away your intelligence.
No, I know.
I just asked you to use your cunning.
Okay. So there's not a bed that we could.
You can. There is a bed that you can move. I'm just saying that they will probably notice that something is wrong.
We can pull it back over where we were.
What do you mean?
That's what I'm thinking. Is we move the bed. Make
Oh,
the
you're going to
hole,
do it
and
where
then
the bed
hole-
is.
Yes.
Okay.
And
That's
then-
not the question you had asked before.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you're not in the room, they'll know you're not in the room. But
Right. I'm looking for a Shawshank Redemption moment.
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
So-
You don't even need a roll for the burning gel. It, of course, works.
It just works.
Yeah. It just does.
It just works. It just does its thing, Batman style. So you guys burn a hole in the floor big enough for you guys to go into, and you tunnel in. And there are no engineers here right now. They're all kind of pushed to doing the kind of battle readiness stations, which are not in the secret, like not secret, but shortcut corridors. Everybody is already where they would need to be. So you guys kind of have free roam to move and maneuver down here. You don't see anybody. You don't even hear klaxons down here. It's all very quiet, very secluded. And you guys head toward that core area, toward the engine chambers. And you do start feeling a depth to the air. Whether that's caused by the force or by radiation, like you can't really tell from this current point. But you feel a heaviness coming about you. And the further you walk, the heavier the whole atmosphere seems. Not just the air, but everything around you. seems to be muddled with anger and stress and fear and terror.
Can I attempt to contact?
I think at this point, like, you can try to, but the discipline check is going to naturally be upgraded 3 times because there's so much raw stank emotion in the air just pressing down on you.
Okay. Do you feel that, Varho?
How could you not?
What is that? Is that
Bad.
that's bad? Well, it feels bad, but that's not a very good descriptive term.
Well, it is what it is.
Yes, but I'm trying to figure out what it is.
And a dog is what a dog is.
Is that the force that I am feeling?
Possibly. I'm not sure exactly. It feels forceful in some fashion, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's actually the force.
I see. Could this be something from the Rakatan artifact they use?
Possibly.
I know that my brother was feeling very sick and very upset. Could he be projecting his emotions?
Or it could be affecting his emotions, making him feel that way.
We need to find him. So how far can I get a gauge from? I would have an idea where we would be on the ship and where the engines would be.
You have a general directional idea, but
Mhm.
like, you haven't really studied Star Destroyers, so you don't really know. You know they're real freaking big, but you don't know how big. Like, you don't know
Okay.
how many kilometers it takes to cover one. You don't know how, like, the
The
distance
fact that
from
you
room
say
to
kilometers right there. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know, like, the distance, like how wide the hallways are. You don't know distance from room to room, or even accurately where the engine room is. You know the general direction that it will be.
Right.
So you can't really gauge distance necessarily, but you can go ahead and make a survival check, or there are computers down here.
Oh.
So you can access one of the data pads that's in the engineering wall and try to get a sense of where this area is and be able to move there much, much quicker.
Look, Varho, a computer, finally. I will see what I can find out. So I'm going to attempt to hack into the computer. I'm going to go not anything in depth that might
Yeah, you're
trigger-
just trying to get blueprint, just
Exactly.
location of stuff.
So
no-
how hard?
And even if you were trying to hack a little bit deeper, they don't really suspect that anybody's here. They're not really looking out for people hacking right now.
Right.
They're looking out for people on the ground.
Yeah, I just don't want to trigger the natural alarms. If I
Yeah,
try
sure.
To get
So
into
it's just going to be a hard check. Simple, hard, or not simple, a hard check. So just 3 purple against your computer skill.
All right. Okay, well, my computer's is 2. Yeah, I just don't really have anything that, if there was any setbacks, it would help. And I can reduce the time. So I could bypass security or code break, but nothing that specifically helps. Other than I reduce the time by 25%. Just
Yeah.
You are successful.
No.
Oh, does that one?
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Drat.
Nope. I do have
An advantage.
2 advantage.
2 advantage, yeah.
2 advantage.
2 advantage. Okay, what do you want those 2 advantage to be? What do you find on the blueprints instead of finding that engine compartment?
I find I can't find the engine compartment, but I can find out how to get to the docking bay through these tunnels.
Okay, quick escape.
Yes.
I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Smart. Wise move. Okay, so you guys just kind of keep moving through this area, and it's taking
Well, I kind of
you.
want to use sense if I can find out where this bad oppressive feeling is
Okay.
the strongest.
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely, and that's just going to be a force check.
Yeah.
No like skill involved.
Don't tell me exactly, but a general direction. We need to go this way.
Yeah.
Like a compass.
Yeah.
A light side and a dark side.
Okay, cool. So you just want to use that light side point?
Yeah.
All right, so you're able to kind of progress that, and I'll let you go ahead and commit that die to. And did you roll 2? Yeah, of course you got a light side and a dark side. So you can commit one of those dice to kind of use that as an ongoing compass to point you guys in the right direction as much as possible, video game style.
Yeah.
Sure. So with that, it takes you guys not terribly long to get there, but by the time you do, you hear the howling of ties approaching as if they're returning from their assault on the planet. So people will probably be coming to your room pretty quickly to escort you back down.
Okay.
So you get to this vent, and the feeling, the dank feeling of weight upon your shoulders and your minds is strongest on the other side of this vent. You have a very strong sense that on the other side of this vent is at least something that you're looking for.
Okay. I peek through the vent to see what I can see through it, if anything.
You do see a Verpine sitting at a desk with an artifact in front of them, and they seem to be in some sort of a trance.
Okay. Can I see anybody else in the room?
You don't.
Okay.
You only have a narrow field of view because you're looking through the vent, but you don't see anybody else.
Okay. But it's still short range, so I can use sense to see how many sentient beings are in there.
Correct. There's nobody else in the room.
Okay.
There are some people outside of the room.
Okay.
But there's nobody else in the room.
Okay.
How big is this vent? Big enough for us to get through?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I led you guys to an event that you can't go through.
I know.
There's your brother.
We got burning gel.
Yeah.
We have more.
We do. We have plenty of it.
I know. It's amazing how much burning gel we're going to open up something to the outside at some point in time. You know.
Okay.
Well, you do have Detonite too.
I know.
You
That is
do.
true.
Okay, so do you guys go
I
into
have
the
a
room?
plan for that.
Yes. We're going to try to do that silently. Open up the vent.
Yeah, you're able to. You open it up without anybody else hearing. The noise in the rest of the ship is kind of keeping that quiet enough.
Okay. I will get out. Now, do I think that I could take a small amount of this burning gel and use it to fuse the door shut? Like weld the door shut?
Probably not. There's a chance that it could work, so you can make the check. But if it doesn't work, then it's going to basically cause the door to malfunction and be open permanently.
Okay.
We can do Star Wars logic.
What's that?
Blast control button to decide whether the locks that are open or closed.
Yeah,
That's true. You can shoot the control.
That's always amazed me.
So what Undu just did.
So do I know how hard it would be, the check would be, to fuse the...
I think at this point, with so much stuff going on, that...
Probably best to grab your breath and go.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
kinda
you're
what I was
probably not even thinking about the door. You're just thinking about your
Yeah,
brother.
you just are seeing your brother alive for the first time in weeks, maybe months.
Okay.
So the mechanics check to get the cuffs off of him to free him is going to be average.
Okay. Callist.
He's tranced. He is not responding to you at all.
Callist.
Is he staring at the artifact?
He is staring directly at the artifact, and his eyes are kind of glazed over.
Now, is the artifact attached to anything?
Nope.
So if I move the artifact, do his eyes follow it?
Now,
Yes.
he's connected to it, though. He was connected something with tubes and hoses before.
Yeah, there are tubes and hoses kind of all over him. Monitoring his vitals more than anything. He wasn't necessarily connected to the artifact, but he and the artifact are both connected to the same machines.
Now, are we going to have... How can we move the machines, too? Or are we going to have to disconnect them?
You're going to have to disconnect the machines.
Okay. Can I tell what is going on with this? And if we disconnect them, is that going to
I mean,
hurt him?
it's vitals reading.
Okay, that's it?
They're not like pumping him full of weird oozes or anything. I mean, he's got an IV, but it's not really a weird ooze.
Okay.
It's just ooze.
All right. I'm going to disconnect the manacles on him.
Okay, the manacles will be average mechanics. The tubing and wires will be average medicine.
I can handle the mechanics.
Okay.
You
And
probably
I may
handle
have to handle the
too.
medicine, too.
Yeah.
Do you want to make the medicine check?
Yes.
What is
Yeah,
your...
I thought you had medicine skill.
And it's average, you said?
Yes, both are average.
Does Chris's med kit count at all for this?
No.
This means they have the tools, so they take a penalty for doing that.
Okay. Well, I had one threat, but I was successful.
Okay, great.
Wow. Did not roll a single success or failure,
Oh
but
my.
ended up with one threat.
One threat. So you're one threat. So you're not like, this isn't really something that you couldn't.
I'm not used to dealing with verpines.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
not
kind
used
of-
to
I'm
dealing
not
with
sure what I'm
verpines.
looking at.
So you're going to take a strain, and also kind of the systems will start to kind of go haywire, and they start beeping. So you get everything out successfully, but you didn't like turn it off. You didn't kind of do the checks and things that would make sure that kind of nobody noticed. As far as you go, you also roll a threat with success, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you are going to take the strain of the situation is weighing on you, and also all of those emotions are still crashing into this room. But you do successfully unlock the manacles. Callist is freed, and he's still staring at the artifact.
Okay.
And you hear kind of a hydraulic coming down the hallway. And that is where we will end the session.
Okay.
Thanks so much for joining us at Well, That Didn't Work. We appreciate you listening, and we hope we'll see you again next week. Bye.
Like,
Good night.